to another penny stock video. Today we're looking at Loxley Resources Limited, that's LKYRF, on the OTCQB market. Now they also trade on the Australian exchange, the ASX, under ticker symbol just LKY. So if you're an Australian investor, you can do LKY. If you're an American investor, you can do LKYRF. I'm American, God bless America, so we're looking at LKYRF, same stock, okay? So any thing we cover for LKYRF applies to LKY. It's just a dual listing, just to clarify. So let's deep dive into this company. Now this is a really exciting one. You can see Friday it closed over 30% up on Friday, and there's a reason for that, and that's what we're here to get into. But I just want to preface this by saying you can see this is an exploration company focused on critical minerals in the United States of America and Australia. The company is actively advancing exploration across the Mojave Project in California, targeting rare earth elements and antimony. So, if you have, in case you've been living under a rock, this is one of the hottest sectors in the stock market right now is rare earth metals. And if we look at stocks like Wright, let's bring up Wright real quick. Let me just show you what's going on here. Okay, we'll bring up Wright. You can see, wow, huge move on Wright. This is rare earth metals. We can bring up DTREF, which if you haven't heard of DTREF, you're really living under a rock. This has been everywhere lately. You can see incredible chart here, just going up and up and up. So this is the sector to be in, guys. And this is the hot stuff right now in the market. And LKYRF, Loxley Resources, happens to be right next to DTREF geologically. And that's going to be a key part of what we talk about here. So we'll take a look at the share structure first, as we always do. We have a float of around 100 million shares. Very good float. Nothing wrong with that at all. And I'll show you really good comparison graphic here. And this is from Louis Andros on Twitter, at Louis Adven. Louis, don't know how he pronounces it, but there he is. There's his handle. He actually made this graphic. He has some great DD on the company, so go follow him. Shout out to him. But I stole it for this post because it's a good one. And you can see the difference. Because if we compare, so LKYRF, you have the 105 million share float. But compare that to DTREF and Wright, and their floats are in the billions. So now if we're talking about, hey, what can be a really explosive move? Well, we know that lower the float, the more explosive of a move you can have. So we talk about this all the time, guys. So if you don't know this, you gotta watch the videos. So we have a lower float, significantly lower, comparatively to these stocks that are, well, quite comparative, right? And we'll get into how close LKYRF and DTRF are geologically very soon. But this is a key point to highlight, low float in this sector. Okay, and now let's take a look at some of the recent news. So the big one from last week, which was September 11, 2025, they put out Loxley Resources has 249 additional claims to land holding of more than 40 square kilometers of highly prospective critical minerals ground in California's Mojave region. Okay, but the real key to this is, not only did they, of course, they basically doubled their claims, which is fantastic, right? Now they have a total of 491 claims, it says right there. But I want to show you this map that they put out with the PR. So if we look at these brown and these orange areas, this is Loxley Resource claims. If we look at gold or yellow, this is the Coliseum mine. This is DTREF. And if we look at blue, this is MP material claims. And let's take a look at MP. You've probably heard of them. Huge mining company, one of the biggest, MP Materials Corp. And they have a market cap of $11 billion. And clearly they see the value. They see the value in this area. They want to mine here. They are mining here. Coliseum mine, DTREF, sees the value in this area. And so it's only natural for Loxley to see the value in this area as well. So this is a very key geological area for basically it's a key source of antimony, is the critical mineral that a lot of these companies are really after for the U.S. supply chain is antimony. And this is a rich area in California for that, as well as other rare earth metals. So they are in a very hot spot, and it's exactly where you want to be for what's happening in the market right now. So this map is really crucial. Really want to highlight this because people are going bananas over the potential of the Coliseum mine and the Mountain Pass mine. and they're going to go bananas now for these antimony mines here in the surrounding area that Loxley has claimed. Okay, so that's very important to understand. And then we take a look. They actually had a press release in the Australian market today because the Australian market's open already. So people are going to see this on the OTC side tomorrow morning. I'm recording this September 14th. You can see the press release is already dated September 15th. But this talks about significant enlargement of exploration program. So highlights, post a substantial expansion of Loxley's claim portfolio. The company has determined that it will significantly increase the scale and accelerate the pace of its exploration program. The expanded program will be focused upon exploring both the existing antimony and rare earths elements prospects, plus targeting additional commodities that have been identified on Loxley's larger land holding. Post the evaluation of recent fields activities, Loxley will provide the market with a detailed outline of the expanded exploration program. So boom, this is why you got to read PRs, because again, we want to be ahead of catalysts. When we're getting into stocks, we want to be ahead of the catalysts that are going to push the stock higher. You want to be in early, basically. So we go over these press releases not just to see the positive things the company's doing now, but the positive things that are coming so we can be ahead of those catalysts. Well, here you go. They're telling you they're going to provide the market with a detailed outline of the expanded exploration program. That's a future catalyst. That's a catalyst we know is coming. It's confirmed through this PR, and it's something we can look forward to that could possibly have a positive impact on the stock price, right? And then one thing I really wanted to, I think it was in this one. Let me just search it real quick. Yep, here we go. It talks about antimony, right? The expanded program will be focused upon exploring both the existing antimony and rare earth elements. So I want to highlight that antimony, really critical metal that we get pretty much all of it from China right now. It's important for magnets, batteries, all kinds of different things that are critical to, like EVs, right? Things like that. Antimony is just a very important rare earth metal. And if you don't believe me, right, you can believe the U.S. International Trade Commission. Here's an executive briefing on trade, October 2021, talking about antimony has been listed as a mineral critical to U.S. economic and national security by the U.S. Department of Interior. Distinction also held by rare earth elements, cobalt and uranium. Despite this designation, there has been comparatively little attention on antimony and its importance in the current environment, as well as potential future uses. Okay, so this is a briefing to the International Trade Commission, U.S. International Trade Commission, talking about the importance of antimony, how we get 90% from other sources, not domestic, and that's a big problem. And LKYRF, as well as the Coliseum Mine and Mountain Pass Mine here, all of these are critical mines to solve that supply chain problem in the U.S., right? And I do want to point out as well, we talked about how this PR was put out tonight. You can see it's already having positive reaction in the ASX Australian market, up 5% right now. It actually peaked at up more than 10% when it opened. A little dip right now, but again, trading green off that news on the Australian market there. And then we have, of course, the executive order from the White House, March 20th, 2025, and this is what set off the rare earth metals bull run, basically, is immediate measures to increase American mineral production. So I'm not going to read you the whole thing. You can go read it yourself if you want. It's right here on whitehouse.gov, but there was an executive order that said, hey, let's get this going. Let's start mining for these rare earth metals in the U.S. So LKYRF being one of three, the other two, DTREF and MP, being one of three that is extremely well positioned to take advantage of this executive order. So that's really critical as well. And then again, we compare market caps even. Now, to be fair, LKYRF has doubled in market cap since this graphic was made. But again, you're looking at a fifth of DTRF's market cap after accounting for the price increase. And you're looking at basically the same market cap as Wright. And to be honest, I mean, Wright, not a big fan of it. Scammy history. So I'm gonna mainly compare this to DTREF. So yeah, that being said, let's take a look at the chart here now. And Loxley Resources Limited, LKYRF, here's our chart. This is a 1 month time frame. And what do you see? Well, we see it's building momentum really nicely here. It's reclaimed these moving averages. We have a very clear bottom here with this nice bottomy candle. And you can see it's just behaved excellent since that. And now, what's our key level, right? We're building momentum. Where's the upside here? Well, we have a key level here at 0.442. So about, let's call it 50 cents, around there, 44 cents, okay? You break 44 cents, and this is a blue sky breakout, and that's what we look for with parabolic potential on penny stocks, is we like those blue sky breakouts. We like breakouts over previous resistance levels, and there is no level over 0.44. So if you're looking for a blue sky breakout, right, that's the contingency, is there has to be no level above it. And they can be the best breakouts, is the blue sky ones. That's why they have such a nice name, guys. So that's a really key point to consider from a trading perspective. Where's my upside? Well, it's looking like it's going to at the very least test 0.44, and if it gets over that level, then it gets really fun for everybody. So LKYRF, beautiful chart there. And that's the last thing I really needed to highlight, I think, about this stock. Just keep an eye on it. They're very active on Twitter as well. I'll bring up their Twitter. Loxley. Sorry about that. There we go. Loxley Resources. You can follow them at Loxley underscore LKY. That's at Loxley underscore LKY. Loxley Resources here on Twitter. You can see they're putting out updates all the time. Let's go ahead and retweet them. There we go. Every day, pretty much, they have new updates coming out on the company. So very exciting company to follow. And they put out plenty of press releases. The chart looks fantastic. They're in the right place at the right time. Guys, that's LKYRF, LKY on the ASX. And yeah, happy trading. Let's go LKYRF. It looks like a great one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.